Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time. My name is Brittany and I'm so glad you guys could make it. And in today's video, I'll be basically showing you guys how I achieved this really nice peachy, purple, sunsetty cut crease using nothing but P. Louise makeup bases. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm doing is priming my eyelids. This is the first thing that anyone should do before they proceed to put on eyeshadow. And I'm using the LA Girl Concealer in the shade Fawn. You know, I like my bases light and very smooth. And I'm blending this out with a Real Techniques brush. Of course, you can use any concealer shade you want. But for me personally, I'm dark skinned, so I kind of need that boost. So which is why I use a lighter color concealer. So going into our P. Louise base, and this is the color orange, I'm taking that and using a flat brush, I'm beginning to like shape out how I want the eyeshadow to be while placing that base on my eyelid. These bases are so versatile. You can use them for transition shades, you can use them for crease shades, you can mix them with concealers to see like, you know, how you want it, and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. So I'm using this orange and that's what I'm using as my transition shade, obviously. So now using a Morphe brush, I'm beginning to carefully, because you know it is liquidy or creamy, so you gotta be careful. So it's actually advised you wait a few minutes before you go in and blend. It's just so you have more control over the product. So yeah, I'm taking my time and I'm blending out the edges, making sure they're very airbrushed because this is the transition shade. Next, we'll be going into our P. Louise Born Center palette, and the purple in this eyeshadow palette is literally so bomb. I thought the Jackie Aina palette had the best purple, but I'm gonna have to give it to these people because the purple, you guys can see for yourselves. It's so bright, so vibrant, and it's just beautiful for transition shades. So that's what I'm basically using, and I'm kind of going for like a sunset situation, so that's why I'm using the orange and then the purple, and I'm blending this out with a BH Cosmetics brush. So if you're not new to my makeup tutorials on YouTube, you guys know I love my black, and unfortunately P. Louise did not have black to offer me, or I didn't own anything black for P. Louise. Like the eyeshadow didn't have any black in it. I didn't have any black base. So I had to go into my handy dandy Soft Glam palette to get that black that I like, that depth that I look for. And yeah, I take a really precise brush for this because black can get very crazy. So now time for cutting the crease. I'm going to be mixing the orange base with this LA concealer in the shade Cool Tan. And that gave me the perfect peachy shade that I pictured in my head. And this is the versatility of the bases. Sometimes you might want like a pastel, even though they do have pastel bases. But for example, if I wanted a pastel and orange, I could easily mix that with like a white concealer and it would give me that. And it's just, you know, it really inspires creativity, like these bases really do. So I'm carefully taking a Morphe flat brush, and I like to really flatten that brush out myself because that's how you get the most precision in the crease. Like the brush really needs to be as flat as possible. So now that our crease is cut, I'm going back in between the purple shadow and the black shadow to carefully blend out the outer corner of that cut crease. We want it to look blended, okay? We don't want nothing harsh over here. Like we don't roll that way. And so for a liner, I decided to take my brown matte lipstick to create kind of like an invisible like eyeliner, if that makes sense, like the eyeliner that basically fades into the eyeshadow. And this was like kind of my first time trying it, and I think I did pretty good for the first time. And I like how the lipstick, you know, dried down and became really matte and really solid. And I like the color brown. That color was really opaque and I really liked it. So for the face, I'm starting off by taking my Fenty Beauty primer, and this is the matte primer. And unfortunately, my bottle was almost finished and I really struggled to get it out, and I just really hate when products I love run out on me. But it's okay. Like, I'm taking the primer and I'm just warming that into my skin. And I usually like to wait a few minutes before I put like product on top of the primer. And so after priming, I like to go in with my color corrector. And color correcting makes such a difference in my makeup. Like, for me personally, like, it's not really the color correction, but more so the extra coverage. Like, when I color correct, I don't really have under eye bags, and it just really helps me out a lot with coverage. So I'm just blending all of that goodness out. And for our foundation today, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty foundation and the Juvias Place foundation in the shade Lagos. And I never found my shade in the Juvia's Place foundation, and that really bothered me. Like, I was really hurt to see like Lagos was not my shade. But it's okay, you know, I'm blending them together, so I'm putting it to use somehow. And so taking my BH Cosmetics brush, I'm just blending that foundation all over my face. And I like to, you know, kind of like buff it in, and, you know, yeah, I don't put too much pressure on the brush when I'm blending out my foundation, because it's way more of a flawless finish that way. Now to conceal or to highlight, give us that, you know, brightness that we need, I'm taking my LA Girl concealer in Fawn, and I love to use a flat brush to apply it. The blend is just much better, much easier, and it just comes out way more flawless that way. And I like to give a little bit of space between under my eyes, because I like to go in with Cool Tan, which is a little bit lighter, for that extra, you know, that extra brightness. And I'm taking my e.l.f. Cosmetics sponge, and it's a damp sponge, and I'm carefully beginning to blend that, of course starting on my outer area and then working my way into the inner corners and stuff. I find that it just works that way for me. Like, it really just works that way for me. So yeah, like, I'm just blending out the concealer. And now I'm just contouring the areas I feel need contour, and I always blend out my contour with a brush versus a sponge, because sponge takes off product and I really want my face to be contoured, so I like to use a brush. And then I'm contouring my nose, taking my eyeshadow brush and just running that along the bridge of my nose. And so to set all that concealer, I'm using my Sacha Buttercup powder, and look at how luscious and flawless my face looks. It looks so good. Like, it looks so good. And that's why I will always rely on that powder. And so to further, you know, warm up our face, I'm going into my Fenty Beauty Bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami. And I love, 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 love how warm it makes me look. And so to, you know, our little contour trick, I'm cutting the lower part of the contour with some setting powder to, you know, just to give the contour some more pop. I love to blow out my lower lash line for eyeshadow looks, and I'm just taking a little bit of the black shadow followed by the purple shadow to just really blow out my bottom lash area to give it, you know, more dimension, and just it makes my eyes sultry, and I just really like blowing out my bottom lash line. And now I'm taking a little bit of mascara to put that on my bottom lashes, give it some pop, as well as the top, as well as my, oh, okay, I'm rhyming. All right, okay, I see you. Okay, and then to highlight, I'm taking my OG Wet n Wild highlighter, and I love the highlighter so much. You guys know that I like this highlighter. And so for my lips, I honestly was so lost as to what I wanted to go for, and I never really think my lips through. Like, I always think the eyeshadow through, but really never the lips. But anyway, I started off by lining the lips, because obviously I knew I wanted it to be kind of nude. And I was going in, I went into the NYX lip gloss, I went into Colourpop, I went into, you know, different types of lip gloss. I think I used like 3 or 4 lip glosses to achieve the lip. And I was clueless. I didn't know what I was going for, but, you know, we did it. And then I also went back in with some of extra lip liner, because, you know, the nudes were getting a little too nude, so I had to go back in there to bring that liner back. And then it's time to put on our lashes. Our lash glue has finally dried, and, you know, I'm just carefully placing my lashes on. And yeah, guys, I mean, there's not much else to say. This is the final look. Girl, I had to take off these AirPods because I was ready to jam and jam it out. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and follow me on Instagram because, you know, I'll be posting cute stuff on Instagram. So go ahead and follow me and subscribe to my channel because I will be posting some more fire content. And yeah, I guess I will just see you guys in my next video. You know, y'all be safe, you know, and yeah, bye.